Imagine waking up every morning feeling energized, vibrant, and free from nagging inflammation. It's not a fantasy. It's the power of an anti-inflammatory plant-based diet. In this video, I'll break down everything you need to know to get started, even if you're a complete beginner. Hi, I'm Blaze, and I help men and women to crush it in a plant-based lifestyle by keeping it simple with plant-based foods. In this video, we're talking about the ultimate guide to anti-inflammatory plant-based eating for beginners. The first category we're going to cover is herbs and spices. And the first powerhouse of an herb that we need to talk about when it comes to preventing inflammation is turmeric. Turmeric is a well-known herb when it comes to healing many ailments in the human body, such as gut issues, heartburn, indigestion, joint pain, inflammation, and the list goes on and on and on, and has been used for thousands of years in places like India and Southeast Asia. And the active ingredient in turmeric that makes it so powerful is curcumin, which is what gives turmeric that orange to yellow color. So you definitely want to be eating turmeric to prevent any type of inflammation within your body. And pro tip, to absorb as much curcumin as possible out of the turmeric, you want to be adding a little bit of black pepper in whatever types of foods or even drinks that you end up consuming with turmeric inside. So you could make a simple, say a tea. I do this all the time with turmeric. I'll harvest some turmeric, I'll boil some water on the stove, and then what I'll do is I'll just thinly slice the turmeric into thin slices, throw it in a cup, and then just pour hot water right on it. It's as simple as that. And then you could crush a little bit of black pepper and add that to the turmeric if you wanted to absorb as much curcumin as possible. You can also add turmeric into soups. You add a little bit of black pepper in there also. So I even seen fresh raw drinks where they actually juice the turmeric, and then they'll add a little bit of lemon and some water and some crushed black pepper in the drink, which is pretty cool. So turmeric is definitely a powerhouse when it comes to an anti-inflammatory destroyer. So definitely be adding some turmeric into your diet today. Next, number 2, the cousin of the turmeric, which is the one and only ginger. Ginger is another herb that has a chemical compound called gingerol, which is a phenolic phytochemical compound found in fresh ginger that activates the heat receptors on the tongue. So this is what gives ginger that nice spicy bite whenever you eat or chew a piece, which is the magic that helps to prevent any type of inflammation that could be going on in your body. Gingerols are a class of phenolic compounds responsible for ginger's flavor and aroma. They are also credited for many of ginger's medicinal properties, including the anti-inflammatory effects. So make sure you're adding ginger into a lot of your foods. Simple as tea also, soups, stir fries. You can bake with ginger, right? They make gingerbread and stuff. Make sure it's plant-based and healthy. And next, we have cinnamon, which is an amazing spice. Cinnamon contains cinnamaldehyde, which is an anti-inflammatory compound found in cinnamon. Cinnamon is such a powerful spice that it can be used as a natural insect repellent for insects such as mosquitoes. And also, cinnamon is one of the best natural fungicides when it comes to agriculture. And I've actually used cinnamon doing some of my air layerings when I'm working in the garden. A bunch of my air layerings that I did where you're basically peeling off the bark of certain types of plants that are already fruiting. You kind of create a wound on the plant, and then you wrap it with something like peat moss. And then you wrap it all tight until it starts rooting. And then, 3 months, 6 months later, it depends on the type of plant, you can cut the branch off and then plant it in a pot or in the ground. And then, in no time, it can fruit right away once you plant it, right? Like the next season, it'll be fruiting. Whereas if you plant something from seed, sometimes you got to wait 5-10 years before it starts to fruit. I actually used cinnamon and honey when I was doing my air layering as a natural fungicide. The cinnamon and honey combo worked like an absolute charm when it comes to being a natural fungicide. For any type of like propagation, air layering, even grafting, it works superbly and I highly recommend it. So I just had to throw that in there. Research also shows that cinnamon has blood sugar regulating properties, which can help to prevent intense insulin spikes, which then can lead to subsequent inflammation, right? Cinnamon is a must-have in your pantry or on your rack of spices that you use often. Make sure you're using cinnamon in your arsenal of plant-based foods and spices to prevent any type of inflammation. Next, we have the mint family. Mints such as peppermint and spearmint, which contain polyphenols, which is known to protect brain cells. The rosmarinic acid in the Lamiaceae family of mints is well known for its anti-inflammatory properties. Plus, they also help to reduce allergic symptoms such as runny nose and sneezing. So menthol in peppermint is known for its cooling effects. That's why they put peppermint in a lot of things such as toothpaste, breath mints, gum, because it has that powerful cooling effect, which is the menthol. And peppermint is also known for relieving digestive issues such as bloating, gas, indigestion. So make sure you're having some kind of mint that you can use to help prevent any type of inflammation that you might be dealing with or that you want to prevent. You could do something as simple as the tea. Again, I do this all the time and it does work like a charm. So I recommend it. Leave a comment down below and let me know if you deal with any type of inflammation or joint issues or indigestion, and what type of solutions have you used to help prevent these type of symptoms. Do you know of any natural remedies that work well to help prevent any type of inflammation within the body? If you do, then share it down below in the comments because I'm interested to know. And right off the bat, we gotta mention these guys because this family is an absolute titan when it comes to preventing inflammation in the body. And this is the berry family. Such as blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, mulberries, goji berries, all types of berries. The absolute titans when it comes to the absolute titans when it comes to staying in top optimal health. The berry family will help to get you there, without a doubt. Berries contain anthocyanins, which gives them that deep, dark, beautiful color. The deeper the color is, the more anthocyanins that are in it. So this is why you usually hear why eating berries is so powerful in health, in staying healthy, especially if you're eating wild blueberries or wild blackberries. So whenever you can get your hands on wild organic blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, any type of the berries, make sure you're adding this into your diet because this will definitely help to protect you from any type of inflammation. The next fruit family we gotta mention is citrus. Just the vitamin C alone in citrus helps to crush inflammation in its tracks. So vitamin C helps to produce collagen in the body that will help to prevent inflammation. Plus, this will also help your skin to look more vibrant and glowing. And why is this? This is because over 70% of your skin's dry weight is collagen. So you want to be eating fresh foods that have tons of vitamin C daily. Make sure you're adding some type of fresh vitamin C into your body. And any type of citrus out there is jam-packed with vitamin C. So you don't need to worry. Just make sure it's organic again, because organic does matter. If you haven't seen my other video where I share with you the best fresh juice that you never tried, then I'll leave a link above and down in the description box below. Check out that video because it's directly related to the ingredients that I'm talking about now. And this will truly help you in reducing any amount of inflammation that you are dealing with already or wanting to prevent from happening in the near future. I make the most amazing, fresh, and simple juice that I ever tasted in that video. So go check it out. You're gonna love it. On to the next group, which is vegetables. And how could we not mention the leafy greens when it comes to vegetables, which is a highly alkaline food and what you want to be adding into your body to prevent any type of inflammation before it even starts. So leafy greens such as spinach, Swiss chard, collard greens, arugula, mustard greens, you have watercress, and one of my favorites, dino kale, aka also known as lacinato kale or Tuscan kale. Absolute delicious. If you have never tried dino kale before, then definitely give that a try because that is one of my favorites. So these are all among the most alkaline foods that you can be adding into your body, which helps to balance out the acidity. Most people are walking around these days with acidic bodies, and you do not want that because that is where inflammation and diseases thrive, in acidic bodies. Because most of the processed foods these days are all acidic. You want to be adding alkaline foods into your body as much as possible. And if you haven't seen my other video where I talk about the alkaline foods and the importance of them, then I'll just leave a link down below for that video also. Check that one out because that's very informative. So with vitamins such as vitamin A, C, K, and minerals such as calcium, iron, phosphorus, magnesium, potassium, the leafy dark greens also include antioxidants such as lutein and zeaxanthin, which helps to protect your eyes from cataracts and age-related macular degeneration. So definitely be adding them leafy greens into your diet to keep your eyes strong and healthy for many more years to come. Now we move on to the next subgroup, which is whole grains. So whenever you're eating whole grains, you definitely want to be eating organic and the ancient strains if you can find them. Whole grains such as amaranth, barley, brown rice, wild rice, sorghum, millet, oats, and quinoa. High in protein and packed with fiber. Also gluten-free and packed with antioxidants. One of the main reasons why I'm not recommending to eat wheat so much is because most of the wheat today is hybridized, which means that it's been crossed so many times for production that a lot of people's bodies are somewhat allergic to the wheat. This is how people end up getting inflammation and all these gut and intestine issues is with the hybridized wheat. So ancient forms of wheat such as kamut and spelt, which is rare to find in big chain supermarket stores, you can usually find them at some health food stores. So those two ancient forms of wheat, kamut and spelt, would be a way better choice than eating most of the wheat that is in majority of the stores today. This is why a lot of people end up going gluten-free, right? Because it's the hybridized wheat that creates all these issues in the body. I don't recommend it unless you can find these ancient forms of wheat. But the ones I mentioned earlier, if you can find them organically, amaranth, barley, brown rice, wild rice, sorghum, millet, oats, or quinoa, if you can find these organically and they're not hybridized in any shape or form, then these are the wild grains that you want to be sticking with to help prevent inflammation. And here's a bonus subgroup that I had to add in because this is an important one, which is legumes. So foods such as lentils, peas, chickpeas, kidney beans, lima beans, pinto beans, black beans, white beans, which contain saponin, which is an anti-inflammatory property within the legume family. These also have a hypocholesterolemic effect upon the body, which basically means that it lowers your cholesterol levels. Legumes are well known for its anti-cancer, anti-diabetic activities. I highly recommend cooking your own legumes from scratch. Instead of buying them ready-made in the can, I would buy them in a bag of just the dried beans. And then you soak them in water and cook them yourself, either on the stove or in an Instapot, which is what I recommend. If you cook beans on an Instapot, it's so much easier and faster, from what I found from my personal experience. And also when you're shopping for legumes or beans, be careful, because this has happened to me in the past where I've went to the store, I bought what I thought was fresh black beans. I went home, I soaked them in water for 12 hours or so, and then I cooked them on the stove. Usually you can cook beans for about an hour and they'll be ready. But what I found out this one time is that I cooked them over 2 hours and the beans were somewhat still hard. And I couldn't figure out why was the beans still hard. I just bought them from the store. Come to find out that the beans were old. And once they get past a certain age, they don't come soft like when they're fresh. So just be aware of this whenever you're buying legumes or beans or peas or whatever it is, that if you end up cooking them for say an hour or two and they're still somewhat hard, that means the beans are old. Because fresh beans, when I ended up buying fresh beans from another store, when I ended up cooking them for about an hour, they were perfect. So that's when I knew and realized that those beans are fresh. So just heads up with this, because if you run into that situation, then you'll know why. When you're cooking your own beans, that after about an hour, most of these beans should be nice and soft. When I put it in my Instapot, I'll set it for about 30 minutes and let it cook for 30 minutes, and I'll just leave it there after it turns off, and it'll sit there for like an hour or two, because it's kind of like pressure cooking the beans, right? And they come out perfect every time. So I highly recommend using the Instapot. I'll leave a link down in the description box below for a good Instapot. If you want to learn more on how you can prevent inflammation and improve your circulatory system through a simple drink that has outstanding anti-cancer effects on the body with the power of bromelain, then watch this video right here, where you can boost your testosterone safely for men or protect yourself from inflammation and joint pain if you're a woman. This easy peasy drink that anyone can make will help you to crush your health goals in 2025 and beyond, so that you can live your best life feeling fulfilled, energized, vibrant, and glowing with youthful energy. Watch this video right here, and I will see you over there.